Hey guys, welcome back to the WODdoc Project365, episode 102. Made it out here to CrossFit Steam. Barbells for Boobies, had to support the cause as well. And you know, like when we do Barbells for Boobies, there's always some type of form of grace in it. So today we're gonna talk about how do we improve our grace time, or at least how do we optimize whatever we're gonna do to make that the most efficient movement that we can. Because no matter what, right, grace burns you out. And today we actually did, what was it? We did Helen meets Grace. Helen meets Grace. I get all confused sometimes. This right here is Mandy. She's a coach here at CrossFit Steam. Super awesome girl. She's also great at I think she might have beat me. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was passed out. What happens is we're going to talk about slow elbows. The first thing that tends to happen when people begin to do grace, or once they get like in the rep 15, when they're tired, they're gasping for air, is their elbows get really, really slow, okay? Now, we're gonna show an example of that. And what happens is it turns into a reverse curl. Instead of a clean, give me a nice like reverse curl. Exactly that right there, okay? Now here's the thing, we're gonna spin around. Just like, yeah, there you go. Right there, so you can see her back of her shoulder. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Good, right there. Give me another reverse curl, please. So from right there, you're gonna see this posterior cuff turn on, right? It's the same muscle tissue, you can drop that for a second. It's the same muscle tissue. When I reverse curl, I have to turn on the external rotators of the posterior cuff, right? And that's the same tissue that when I now stand up overhead is exhausted, right? So the longer that I spend in external rotation, the faster that my posterior cuff is gonna get fried, and the harder it is for me gonna be to extend that weight overhead, right? So the first tip that we're gonna have is remember, even no matter how tired you get, is to really punch those elbows through. Switch back around for me so that you can see you punch those elbows through. Yeah, that's perfect. So we're gonna remember, fast elbows, fast elbows, fast elbows. Punch those elbows through. Good. One more time. So the difference, punch those elbows through. Good. Now, the bar is high on her shoulders, right? It's above the anterior delt, which is really good because now it's supported by the torso rather than by the shoulders, right? Give me a full grip here, kind of like let the bar go out there. So what happens when we reverse curl is normally it ends up right here. And now I have so much forward momentum, I have still my posterior cuff turned on. I'm further frying that posterior cuff, and it's gonna be harder for me to stabilize overhead, right? Second tip, go ahead, drop the weight. Give me a reverse curl, right? Or just give me fast elbows, but without any dip. Our second thing that happens as we tend to get burnt out is that we just bring it back up and we don't move our legs anymore. We forget about our lower half, okay? Which is gonna be the second super most important point. Is that like super halitosis, something like that? Second most important point, okay, is to remember our knees, because here's what happens. Show me the difference between that and a nice little dip. Come down into that 3/4 catch position. Boom, right there. I have a travel of 4 inches or so that I no longer have to do because I remember to use my feet here, or my knees, and came into a good position. Now, the shorter the travel distance is from here to here, okay, the less time I'm going to spend in the external rotation, and the less I'm going to burn out this posterior cuff, and that's going to make me go easier, allow me to go easier overhead. Guys, the first thing that we're worried about is the weakest link, and I promise you in this movement, the weakest link is the shoulder. So if we can spend as little time crushing that shoulder, we're going to improve our grace time, and I guess our falling into grace time, and every other barbells to boobies movement that there is out there. So one last little recap. I just want to show you the difference between the slow elbows without our hips versus fast elbows with using our hips. We're going to see the difference and the speed at which it happens. Go ahead.
Which one first?
The bad one first. Very taxing, hard on the shoulders, go right up overhead. Good. Now give me like one that's in like real time that you're still gonna do it just like that.
Just like that?
Yeah, but all the way up. Good, and up. Versus a nice quick elbows, catching a nice little dip. There. And we can also see that we used our torso to drive the bar upwards. Again, less trouble on the shoulders, less fatigue on the shoulders. You can drop that down. So, how do we get a better grace time? We save our shoulders. How do we save our shoulders? We have fast elbows, and we catch in that 3/4 dip, and remember to shove, to pop with our hips, full extension of the hips. That reduces the pressure on our shoulders, that reduces the fatigue on our shoulders, and that will increase our grace. Guys, until tomorrow, we're optimizing function to optimize performance. Thank you so much, Randy.
Now I have to do it again.